Okay, guys, let's continue to question 2. Question 2 is on ratio and rate. So now we'll start first with ratio for 2.1 there. They're saying to us, express the ratio in the simplest form, okay? So whenever they're saying we should do something in the simplest form, it means they want us to divide it in, like, I will just say it like that, the simplest form. So we need to find our highest common factors between 16, 40, and 48. And then on the previous video where we did the highest common factors, guys, highest common factors, you will see that you will find the highest common factor of the following numbers to be 8. Okay? Please don't watch this video before you watch that one, because some of the things that we're going to discuss here are already discussed there in Thera. Here we're just going to brush them off. So you'll see that the highest common factor of these 3 numbers, it is 8. So now for us to write, to express this ratio in its simplest form, we are then therefore going to say 16 divided by 8, and then we have 40. We divide all of them by the highest common factor. By the highest common factor, divide all of them by the highest common factor, and then there you will see that your answer will then be 2 to 5 to 7. No, is it 7? No, to 6. Is 2 to 5 to 6. So now that's how you answer your first question there, 2.1. So now this is our simplest form, and then we can simply see there that is only for 1 mark. Okay, and then now coming to number 2 there, 2.2, that's saying Nelson has 80 marbles. Okay, the ratio of the green to blue marbles, it is 1 to 4. So now 2.2, we have 80 marbles. We have 80 marbles, and then the ratio of them, it is 1 to 4. And we know that the blue, it is 1, and then, no, the blue, it is 1, yes. I mean, not the blue, the green is 1. So let's get our green pen. There's our green, and then the blue is 4. So we're doing this thing by 1 to 4. So what we then do, you can sit in, I'm just recording a video. Okay, so now since, well, we have this ratio, now the first question here, they're saying to us, how many blue marbles does he have, right? So now what do? We firstly need to find out how many blue he has and how many green he has. So our steps is that we're going to add 1 plus 4, which is going to give us 5, right? And now remember, out of these 5 that we got, 4 of them should be what? Blue, right? So now then I'm going to say 4 over 5. Then we multiply that answer by that 80 marbles. And then that's how we'll get our answer. So let's go to our calculator. We have 4 over 5. Then we multiply by 80. And then we'll see that 64 marbles are blue marbles. Right? And then for 2.2.2, for 2.2.2 there, they're saying what fraction of marbles are green? What function? And already we know that out of 5, green is how much? It is 1, right? So simply we're going to have 1 over 5. That's our fraction, correct? And then now we go to 2.2.3. They're saying what percentage of the blue marbles are, of the marbles are blue. Again, we know that out of 5, we know out of 5, blue, how many is blue? It is 4, right? So we're going to have 4 over 5, then you multiply this by 100. And then now I think our answer should be something like 80%. So 80%. Let's quickly check in the calculator. 4 over 5 multiplied by 100. Yeah, that is 80%. That is 80%. Now, on to question 2.3. For 2.3 there, they're saying the distance from Bloemfontein to Ladybrand, it is 130 kilometers. So our distance, let's just write it down. Distance, it is equals to 130 kilometers. And then a car travels the distance in 1 hour, 24 minutes. So that is our time. Our time is 1 hour, 24 minutes. But remember that these minutes, we don't work with minutes, right? Everything should be hours. So now how do we convert those minutes into hours? So I'm simply going to have 24 over 60. Let's see how many hours is that. 24 over 60. It is 0.4, right? So we know that this is 0.4 hours. So we can simply add 0.4 to that 1 hour, meaning it's going to give us 1 plus 0.4 is going to give us 1.4 hours, right? We don't use minutes, guys. Whenever you have a minute, you need to convert it to hours, okay? And then now, lastly, they're saying calculate the average speed. Remember now we have that triangle that we normally draw, this triangle, and then we're going to have that. We know that we have a speed there, we have a distance, and we have our time. So now finally, this is our 2.3, right? Yes, 2.3. So finally, we're going to have speed. It is equals to distance over time. We're going to have the distance as 130 over 1.4, which is our time. Then quickly, let's check how much this gives us. So we have 130, 1.4 divided by 1.4. So our speed is 92.85. But now remember they said to us round off to the nearest 10th, right? Round it off to the nearest 10th. So now if we have 92, what is our nearest 10th in this case? Our nearest 10th is what? 90 kilometers per hour. Right. So now how is this one getting marked? This one you get marked by that conversion, you get marked by your substitution and formula, and then finally by your full marks, by your answer. That's why you have it as 3 marks there. Okay, and then as for the rest of the other ones, you will only be getting 1 mark. All right, that's there you will only be getting 1 mark. Fine. Let us go to our next one now. The next one is 2.4. So there is 2.4 there. 2.4, they're saying if a worker can paint a house in 6 hours. So this painter, workers, we have 8 of them. They're painting a house in 6 hours, right? How many workers would be required to paint the same house in 4 hours? So now we want to know. So let's just do it this way. I just want to understand. So we have workers and we have hours on the same house, right? So now the more workers we have, are we going to work more hours or less hours? The more workers we have. So the more workers we have, the less hours we are going to work, right? So now what is the relationship between these two? Is it direct or is it indirect or inverse? So in this case, it's going to be what? An indirect proportion. An indirect proportion. Because when the other variable increase, the other one is going to go down, right? It's going to decrease. And then what is our formula for that? Our formula for that is going to be 6 multiplied by 8. It should be equal to, when I say 4, do we know the number of workers we want? No. So we need to have it there as x, correct? And then finally here we're going to have 6 times 8. Quickly go to our calculator. 6 times 8. We get 28. And then 4. Then you divide both sides by 4, right? So you can get rid of this 4. So finally, our x in this case will be 12 people. So now if ever we have 12 people or 12 workers, it means that we'll be able to work for 4 hours. For 4 hours. Right? Yes. And then, and again, I just want to emphasize that I will send you guys a lot of practice papers for you guys to prepare well for this test. And then we have now at 2.5, you invest 2,500 in the bank, offering 6%. So when you invest is your principal amount, right? Which is 2,500. And then the bank offering you 6%. So now our I, which is our interest rate, it is 6%. And then it is compounded. It is compounded. It's not simple interest, right? It is a compound interest. So guys, it's very important for you to write all this information down. Okay. And then how many years? It's compounded for 5 years. For 5 years. So now what do they want from you? They want you to calculate the value of the investment after 5 years, meaning they want you to calculate A. So now in this case, what is then our formula for compound interest? Remember, simple interest has its own formula. Compound has also its own formula. So the compound formula, it is A. It is equals to P, 1 plus I, the exponent of N, right? We're looking for A, so we're going to be A. And then our amount P, it is how much? 2,500. Then we have 1 plus our I is 6%. What is 6%? How do we write it? It's 6 over 100, right? 6 over 100. And then our N is an exponent there, which is 5 years. And then finally, your A will then be, go to your calculator. Then you have 2,500, open bracket, we have 1 plus 6 over 100. And then close bracket, our exponent there of 5. So now, after 5 years, your money that you will have, it will be 3,345 and 56 cents. 56 cents. So this is how much money you will have if you invested that much within 5 years. Compounded interest. Okay. Thank you again, guys. For question 2, coming up right is question 3. Thank you.